Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here today. It is my pleasure to introduce some of my colleagues here from the City of Dallas, our honored elected officials, council members, and our city partners to talk more about the excitement of the eclipse. It's coming. We're just less than a week away now. So in this afternoon's press conference, we'll cover a few different points about the preparedness that's already been conducted on behalf of the City of Dallas and highlight some exciting events that will be hosted here in the city as well. To kick us off today, I'll introduce you to the Director of the Office of Emergency Management, Mr. Travis Houston.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Travis Houston. I'm the Director of the Office of Emergency Management, and we thank you for joining us today to provide y'all with some updates on what we've been doing in preparation for the eclipse. So as I'm sure everyone's already aware, the eclipse will be happening on April 8th. The actual eclipse itself is going to be happening between 12:33 p.m. and 3:02 p.m., but the big show, the thing we're all looking forward to, is from 1:40 to 1:44 p.m. So those 4 minutes there are going to be quite exciting. The Office of Emergency Management has been coordinating efforts between city, county, regional, and state partners to prepare for this event. Our focus has primarily been around how we're going to prepare to communicate with the public, as well as what the impacts might be to public safety and transportation on that day. To support Day of Coordination, we will be activating the city's Emergency Operations Center here in City Hall, as well as a joint information center with representatives from all of the major departments and agencies that we're partnering with for this event. And the purpose there is to support the on-scene coordination of anything that needs to happen there, resolve resource needs, et cetera. Our public messaging is going to continue to focus on eclipse safety, traffic safety, and encouraging residents that if you're going to be out and about that day, be prepared for traffic and to use public transportation if possible. And of course, we know that this event relies heavily on what's going to happen with the weather that day, so we're watching the forecast very closely. In addition to that, April is also the height of severe weather season. Thankfully, there's not severe weather in the forecast right now, but the Office of Emergency Management is going to continue to monitor that forecast and provide updates to our partners as appropriate. We'll also be ready to initiate any alert and warnings that we might need to through the outdoor warning system or the integrated public alert and warning system. Now's a good time to remind everybody that if you hear the outdoor warning sirens, that means go inside and seek additional information. Just a few kind of key safety message I want to leave y'all with. You got to expect traffic delays on the day of the event. A lot of work is being done to mitigate traffic impacts, but we can expect that there will be impacts. So plan in advance on where you're going. Be prepared to try and get there early and stay late. And we also want to remind everyone that if you're enjoying this event, please have solar eclipse glasses. Do not look directly into the eclipse. That can cause permanent, severe eye damage. And while there are a lot of great events happening that day, and many of which you'll hear about this afternoon, you can also enjoy the eclipse from anywhere in the city of Dallas. It's going to be happening everywhere all at once. One other thing I'd like to mention is definitely do not stop on the highways. If you're driving during the eclipse to view the eclipse or for any other reason, we're wanting to really make sure that first responders have good ingress and egress and can do their job. So with that, thank you very much, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Travis. And we will open it up at the end of the press conference today for any questions and answers. I'm honored now to introduce our next speaker here. Thank you so much to the Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, Terrell Atkins.
First, thank you for being here. It's a great day. You know, the 8th is going to be a beautiful day, and I'm going to wish the clouds to go away. It will be a sunny day. So if you ask, it shall be. You know, you think about these clips are good. The one thing is make sure safety is number one. You got to be safe and make sure you got a proper eyewear. Make sure you have that. I believe the best place to be to watch the eclipse is on the hilltop, and that is Singing Hill Rec Center. right there, the highest spot in the city of Dallas, in the southern part of Dallas. But I know there are a whole lot of more other locations in District 1, District 9, District 4, District 10, District 11, and all those districts, and also District 13. So with that, be safe. Make sure school is going on that day. These kids ain't gonna get out. If they do decide to go, make sure they have the proper glasses. Make sure the teachers, make sure they obey the teacher. Do not try to look at the clip without the proper glassware. And I did hear it on the TV. They said you have your old glasses. You can wear the old glasses, but you got to be very, very careful. Make sure they cover complete your whole eye. Be sure you do that. So, but if your glasses got a pinhole or anything in it, do not wear those glasses. If they damage it any kind of way, please do not wear the glasses. But also, have a blessed day.
Thank you. And next we will hear from Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Carolyn King Arnold.
I was really waiting for my props, I was trying to buy a little time. My props are here. All right, let's give props to where they're due. All right, so I'm gonna switch out here to go with my gear. Now this is the so this is the proper gear, and you're gonna see this throughout the city. You're gonna definitely see it in District 4. And so it's important today that we make this announcement because we always want to include the southern sector. So we have so much going on in this city, but we wanted all of you to know throughout this city that these celebration will be at Keys Park. And so we're inviting everyone to come out. We're very excited about the opportunity to be a part of this historic day. And so as I move to my seat, just know that we join everyone throughout the city being safe and just having a wonderful time during this historic event. So once again, we're going to continue to do more through the city of Dallas. We're going to do more in District 4. And here is the celebration. Thank you. All right, let's have fun. Thank you so very much. All right.
Thank you so much. And next we will hear from Councilmember Paula Blackman, please.
Thank you, and you stole my thunder. Yes, the glasses, the important part of this. So in East Dallas in District 9, we invite you to White Rock Lake. There are great activities happening around the lake. It's wide open, so you can enjoy wide open spaces. But at the Bathhouse Cultural Center, we will have a watch party from 12 to 3 with DJs and solar glass making. But I would suggest using these no matter what, and make sure it's properly identified on the inside because there's counterfeit glasses floating around. At the Dallas Arboretum, they're hosting the Great American Eclipse. That event is sold out on Monday, but they're doing pre-events that you can get ready for it. April 6th and 7th, they have a chat with a live astronaut and an astrophysicist so you can understand what we're about to endure. And then we can just hang out at White Rock Lake. Like I said, it's complete and it's open. So don't miss out on this chance to experience this natural phenomenon and wear your glasses. And we are thrilled to collaborate and partner with our city, with OEM and various other organizations. But the bottom line is to be safe, make it fun and educational, and to enjoy each other. So with that, I will go ahead and just turn it over to my colleague, Councilmember Willis.
Thank you so much, Paula. Yesterday, I visited with Travis Houston, our new director of the Office of Emergency Management, and we were just kind of talking through what this means to Dallas. It's great that we've got the eyes of the world on us and that so many people are converging on our city, but we talked about how in 2017, when the Path of Totality went through Nashville, this gave them about a 35% increase lift in their population number that converged on their city to take advantage of being able to see this. And so if you want to translate that to Dallas, Texas, that's about 400,000 people coming to our city. We know that our downtown hotels are booked. I have a feeling that that is spreading and more hotels are being booked. And so what this means is that People are going to be moving throughout the city. We hope for good weather, but as the opportunity for optimal viewership may shift to different points, that means that all these people may be shifting throughout the city. And so while it's great that we've got everyone here, it's going to add some stressors to our systems. So when you think about communication, transportation, calling on our police and fire, there are going to be some demands made by having this incredible number of people in our community. So what does that mean? What a great opportunity to bring this home to your block, to your neighborhood. If you're an employer and your staff doesn't have to come into work on April 8th, let's think about that. If you don't have to go into your job on April 8th, or you don't have to get out on the road, think about that. Think about staying home and taking advantage of watching the eclipse from your front yard, or even better yet, walk down to your neighborhood park, go to your library or your rec center, pick up some of your glasses that are available for free there, and just make it more of a neighborhood event and try to take some of that stress off of our services, but still get to enjoy this incredible event. So an important part of making sure things run smoothly that day is our Chief of Police, Eddie Garcia.
Thank you, Council Member. Good afternoon. I just want to take a moment to reassure our residents and visitors that there's extensive and thorough planning by the Dallas Police Department for any large-scale event within our city, and that includes this eclipse, and to make sure that this is a safe event for everyone. Our priority is the safety of the people on our roadways and across our city for this event, and those that may be calling for help at this time. Not only is there coordination between the different divisions within our department, including patrol and specialty units, but also with other law enforcement agencies and city departments. You will see a visible Dallas Police Department presence on our roadways and across the city. We have been working with our city and law enforcement partners on traffic management that will focus on access to critical infrastructure in areas like hospitals and highway systems and interchanges. We want to make sure that our first responders can respond to emergencies and make their way to local hospitals. And I'm going to take a moment to repeat that again, that we need to ensure that our first responders can respond to emergencies and make their way to local hospitals. While the department is working to keep our roadways and streets safe during this eclipse, the public should be prepared for increased traffic and delays. We expect that freeways and major arterials will be heavily impacted by the influx of people into our city, especially in the afternoon hours. The Texas Department of Transportation is limiting road and lane closures that weekend and the day of the eclipse. We urge people to please plan extra time for your travels and make sure you have alternative routes to get to and from your destination. Please do not stop on roadways to view the eclipse or drive and attempt to watch the eclipse. And again, this includes on our freeways. We urge people to please plan extra time and be patient. And thank you. And I don't want to be different, so I'm just going to say, please don't look at the sun without your safety glasses.
Thank you so much. And next we'll hear from Executive Deputy Chief of Fire Operations, Scott Pecca.
Good afternoon. I hope all are well. Thank you for the opportunity to come speak on this exciting event. Dallas Fire Rescue, our planning has always been directed to ensure the safety of our residents, visitors, and first responders. To that point, Dallas Fire Rescue has been collaborating with other entities both inside and outside the city to ensure safe and effective response. We are maintaining communications with partners and are reviewing staffing and staging plans for resources in anticipation of a potential increase for calls for service. We are monitoring and reviewing operational plans in response for anticipated increased traffic, and this includes additional coordination to maintain optimal access to hospitals as well as emergency response routes. Also, there are many events planned within the city. We do have dedicated emergency medical services to be there for treatment and response for our patrons that are attending those. I want to reiterate the point mentioned by Chief Garcia, addressing the importance of roadway safety and the situational awareness that's needed around moving traffic, and consider alternate travel routes and viewing areas. As we experience this event together, we encourage a mindset of understanding, preparation, and patience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now Scott Walton, Assistant Director, City of Dallas Transportation.
Good afternoon, and again, my name is Scott Walton. I work in the Department of Transportation, and what's important from our point of view is both setting expectations and planning ahead. The City of Dallas has a number of great events that are going to be happening, and what's really important to expect is there's going to be traffic delays ahead of these events, and so make sure you're giving yourself ample time to get there. Don't rush and get into an accident. With that expectation, please consider using public transportation or carpooling into an event. If you are going to drive, what we ask you to do is make sure you plan your route. We have so many visitors coming in for this that you may not be used to the streets. We have a number of one-way streets and things of that nature. Make sure you get on the internet, look at how to get there. What's really important is not only getting there, but where you're going to park. A lot of people are coming to some of these really big events. There's usually parking garages and other parking spaces available, but you need to know where they are. They may not be readily apparent once you get there. A lot of the events have websites where you can actually go and look, and it'll show you where parking's available. So once you know where you're going and where you're going to park, what we also recommend is you go ahead and make sure that you have a full tank of gas before you get there, because there's actually going to be a lot of people all trying to leave at the same time. Don't decide that that's the good time to get gas. So be prepared for that. We also like to recommend have some water and some snacks in the cars for the drive home. As you're leaving, be very, very mindful of other cars and traffic. People are going to be stopping where you don't anticipate them to. Again, we have so many out-of-town guests, and they'll be trying to read road signs, get directions, so they may operate a vehicle different from what your expectation is. Also, as people leave the events, there'll be a lot of pedestrian traffic. Be particularly mindful of small children, you know, and you may get distracted by actually trying to look at street signs and directions, but there'll be so many people out. Be mindful of that. And finally, just want to reiterate what everybody else is saying. Please do not stop in the roadway to watch the eclipse or pull along the shoulder on some of the busy roadways. This is unexpected, and it causes a danger to yourself as well as the rest of the traveling public. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we'll hear from Lisa McClendon from Parks and Rec.
Hello, I'm very excited today to speak with everyone about Totality Dallas, which is the official Dallas Park and Recreation event for the solar eclipse. This event will take place at Samuel Farm, which is a city-owned property on the east side of Dallas, actually in Mesquite. It's about 600 acres, and it will be a 3-day festival where we will have overnight camping, day passes for Saturday, Sunday, and then of course the eclipse on Monday. The calendar is packed with a bunch of different activities, educational activities, recreation activities. We have a City of Dallas themed drone show Sunday night taking place at the farm, so we're very excited about that. Park and Recreation has also been actively engaging with DPD and the City Marshal's office for the security needs for this event. And we also are monitoring several other locations that are expected to see a significant increase in visitorship, including White Rock Lake, Bachman Lake, Keys Park, Samuel Graham Park, Cedar Ridge Preserve, and Crawford Park. From the Parks and Rec Department, we would like to remind you that if you plan on bringing a pet, please be sure to bring the necessary items to clean up after your animal and dispose of the waste properly, and to also help keep our parks clean during this. We do have a limited supply of Eclipse glasses as well as some other Totality Dallas merch available on our totalitydallas.com website, which you can purchase online. You can pick up at Samuel Farm. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now Robert Fadden, Assistant Director of Dallas Department of Sanitation.
Afternoon, everybody. Again, my name's Rob Fadden, and I'm the Assistant Director of Sanitation Services. Because of the information provided by the City's Office of Emergency Management in coordination with state and local authorities, having indicated the likely potential for severe traffic and congestion on our roadways, the Department of Sanitation has made the decision to not conduct collection activities on Monday April 8th. Now, mind you, this is not an easy decision. Sanitation stays open. We're not inclined to close. But after a lot of discussion and the thought of having our staff in fully loaded collection vehicles, possibly congesting up the highways even worse once the eclipse is passed, was just something we couldn't look past. So the decision was made. This postponement will impact garbage, brush, bulky items, and recycling. Collections are scheduled to begin on the Tuesday, the 9th. So as an example, if your route was on Monday for collection, it'll be on Tuesday. Tuesday will be on Wednesday, and so forth until we get the job done. However, this won't impact the entire sanitation services. McComas Bluff Landfill and the 3 transfer stations located throughout the city will be open during their normal business hours, but we're going to stop probably about 1:15, and we're going to pick it up again at 2:15. Because again, this is a pretty great opportunity to see something that hasn't been here in a couple hundred years, and I want my team, my department, to enjoy it. So we're going to stop. We've already communicated that with all of our customers. But if you have any other questions, just please go to dallas.gov/sanitation, and it's listed out right there. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosa Fleming, Director of Convention and Event Services, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Rosa Fleming, Director of Convention and Event Services. We partner through our department with Visit Dallas, Downtown Dallas, Inc., several hoteliers, and we have the Office of Special Events as part of our portfolio. So we've been tracking several things, events and hotels. And so our hotels are, for the most part, full, which is great for the economy, but there is some compression that can go out into outer areas, so there's still an opportunity to have a hotel stay if you would like as you go through the eclipse. Additionally, we have permitted several large events, approximately 10, through the Office of Special Events. That does not include those that are taking place at park and recreation facilities, as those are permitted separately. As our other departments, we encourage people to be mindful to not park on the sides of the road and to enjoy these events in a way that is safe, that you're wearing your glasses, and that you are following all of our traffic guidelines, etc. And so as we do this, if you have questions related to any of the events that we have permitted, or you have questions about an event that you would like to plan or have questions about whether it should be permitted, then please look for our website at dallasspecialevents.com, and we are always happy to answer any questions. So thank you.
Thank you. And now Shalissa Perry, Chief Marketing Officer for Dallas Downtown 8.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. On behalf of our team at Downtown Dallas, Inc., we look forward to welcoming the tens of thousands of visitors we expect over this weekend leading up to the eclipse festivities. For those of you that may not be familiar with our organization, we run the Downtown Improvement District, providing supplemental services above and beyond what our partners at the city provide, helping keep downtown clean, safe, and welcoming for all. Our field operations teams, including Clean Team, Security, Homeless Outreach, and our ambassadors, will be fully staffed and ready to serve our visitors through the festivities. We have a full lineup of free, family-friendly events this entire weekend leading up to the big day. So I just wanted to provide a couple of highlights that you can expect to experience downtown. We kicked off Arts Month earlier this week with an interactive art installation at Main Street Garden. It comes to us from Montreal, and it is on display at Main Street Garden through May 15th. And of course, Arts Month kicks off each year with the Dallas Art Fair at Fashion Industry Gallery. Friday night, we'll be hosting our 3rd annual Video Art Night in partnership with Aurora, featuring 10 installations from 22 regional artists. You can also enjoy 2 art festivals this weekend, including the Downtown Dallas Arts Festival and the Deep Ellum Community Arts Festival.
And on Saturday, you can bring the whole family downtown for our solar stroll. You can grab a free bag at Main Street Garden and check in and get a map of participating businesses and stroll throughout downtown to get stuffers and treats for the whole family, including pets. And on Sunday, we have a few ticketed wellness events, including goat yoga ×2 sessions, and then also a solar cycle class, both at our brand new Harwood Park. And then we'll wrap up Sunday night with a free movie screening of Pitch Perfect. Of course, our official solar eclipse watch party is at Main Street Garden in partnership with the Morning News. And we'll feature all the fun things like DJs and food trucks. And we know so many of our partners here in the room have their own festivities and events as well. All of the downtown events can be found at downtowndallas.com. And of course, we invite you to enjoy all that downtown has to offer with our over 200 places to shop, play, and eat and drink. Thank you.
And thank you to Julian Bowman, Senior Director of Marketing for Fair Park.
Hello. Thank you for having me. On behalf of our team at Fair Park, we want to invite everybody out to Cotton Bowl Stadium. We'll be hosting an event called the Sun, Moon, and You, which is sponsored by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, NASA, and the National Science Foundation. The event will start at 9:30 a.m. and run until after totality, so until 2 p.m. It's going to feature a lot of exhibits, giveaways, vendors, and of course we'll have special guest Neil deGrasse Tyson, who will be speaking there, and then live programming from the PBS program Ready, Jet, Go. So once again, that's at Cotton Bowl Stadium. To get more information on it, including parking, need-to-know information, you can go to fairparkdallas.com/eclipse. Once again, that's fairparkdallas.com/eclipse. Just please note that because we have construction at Cotton Bowl Stadium, we just broke ground here last week, we will only be using the east side of the stadium. That is Gate G, so that's the side opposite of the main gate. So we ask that everybody please enter there. We will have security screening, and we have been working with our local authorities on all of the different planning. Once again, go to fairparkdallas.com/eclipse. Thank you.
And Jennifer Walker, SVP and Chief Marketing Officer from Visit Dallas.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. On behalf of Visit Dallas, it's my honor to be here with you today. We at Visit Dallas have been eagerly anticipating welcoming the total solar eclipse here coming up just next week. As Councilmember Willis alluded to earlier, attendance predictions for this event can be quite tricky, but if we compare ourselves to Nashville, who was in the total path of totality back in 2017, we do anticipate to see a bump about 35% above expected visitation levels. As Rosa also mentioned, hotel rooms are full by and large downtown. We have 35,000 rooms citywide, which is great from an economic impact standpoint. There is still limited availability for anybody looking to book rooms. In fact, I saw some rooms available at Omni, at Sheridan through a quick online search. But we have heard anecdotally that visitors are staying the entire weekend. So it won't just be for a single night, but we are seeing them stay for a good time period. I also want to mention that we have created a hub on our website to collect all of the information about the various events, watch parties that are happening within Dallas. You can access that website at visitdallas.com/eclipse. And in terms of some of the traffic that we've been seeing to that site, just in the past 3 months alone, we saw over 43,000 sessions and visits to that site. So we do anticipate to see quite a bump there. A number of those events are sold out at this point, but there are still events to be enjoyed, as Shalissa mentioned, with DDI and their Solar Stroll, the Totality Dallas with Parks and Recreation, as well as a number of events that you can find there on our site.
Thank you again to all of our speakers today. Before we go into the questions and answers, I have a couple of updates on behalf of our departments and partners. My name is Jennifer Brown. I'm the Interim Assistant Director for the City of Dallas Communications, Outreach, and Marketing Department. I am here also to let you know that on behalf of Dallas Animal Services, it is an opportunity for your pets to enjoy the events and this day as well. But we do want to also encourage you to keep an eye on pets, especially at the larger events, and to remind everyone that microchips serve as a pet registration here in the city of Dallas, and that appointments for microchips can be made online at bdallas90.org. We have an update on behalf of Dallas Department of Aviation. As mentioned multiple times, there is anticipation of a high volume of visitors throughout the weekend, and DAL has deployed significant volume trafficking procedures similar to those for other major holidays in order to monitor not only parking, but also traffic within the facilities. As with a busy period, it's a chance to remind anyone who is coming to the airport to arrive at least 90 minutes early. And we did hear from Dallas Independent School District. They wanted us to provide a couple of updates on their behalf. The first is that all schools will be open on Monday, April 8th, and that the school district is committed to ensuring a safe and enriching experience for the students, and that transportation and buses may be delayed, of course. Parents are encouraged to use the district's transportation app for real-time updates, and that all Dallas students will have safety glasses courtesy of the Perot Museum. Parents and guardians should talk to their students about the importance of wearing the safety glasses. More resources for Dallas Independent School District can be found online, dallasisd.org/solar eclipse. And now is the opportunity for any questions from the media or the audience, please. Do we have any questions today? Yes, please, Everton.
Everton Bailey with the Dallas Morning News. I know people are asking residents to be prepared ahead of time, but by ahead of time, are you meaning Friday or Thursday? Because I mean, everyone's not coming on Monday. How early should people be preparing ahead of their trips?
I'm going to pass that over to Travis Houston, Director of the Office of Emergency Management.
I mean, bottom line, the time to get prepared is always now. For this event or any other, you know, when you're thinking about it, is a great time to make a plan and have an idea of what you're going to do. I think what we're anticipating is kind of just like you were saying, people are not going to come all at once. They'll be coming through the weekend. And so while I think we're obviously going to start seeing a increase in visitors to Dallas through the weekend, maybe starting as early as Friday, I think the bigger thing will be the exodus out of Dallas. Once the eclipse is over, show's over, and it's time to go, and so people are going to be leaving then. So I guess my point there is make a plan now for what you're going to do for Monday, but now's the time to do it.
Yes, please. The question that we have is, are there any projections for the tourism revenue that may be generated?
Microphone would help. Tourism impacts are a little too sticky for us to estimate at this point, but again, we do anticipate to see that bump in visitation, 35% year over year in terms of what we typically expect. So that will be forthcoming after the actual event.
Do you want to talk too about what this does to set up Dallas to kind of place it on a big scale too? People are going to be learning about Dallas. People are going to be visiting.
Can you repeat the question too?
Yes. The question, if I'm paraphrasing, is how this will put Dallas basically on a scale for exposure. Nationally, there's going to be a lot of people watching Dallas. To that end, I failed to mention during my update that we anticipate having a number of national media broadcasters here in market as well, including NBC as well as ABC. So we will indeed have a presence on that national stage. Wonderful opportunity for exposure for our city.
Yes, please.
Alex from Fox 4 News. I have a question about the events that are happening at the parks, like White Rock, Keys. Will there be additional facilities brought, like porta potties, that kind of thing? And can residents expect glasses provided
Thank you. The question is for Parks about the facilities and if there will be glasses on site. Thank you so much for Parks and Recreation to answer that question.
Good afternoon, Steve Baker, Superintendent with Park and Recreation Department. So the White Rock, Keys Park will have normal facilities that are on site. They should be adequate enough to accommodate the crowds. I know that there are portalets scheduled to be delivered at a couple of sites, excuse me, I don't have those immediately, but most of our sites will be able to accommodate restroom facilities. Glasses on site, I believe the Park Department has distributed all that we have had available for free at this point in time. I know that we do have a limited quantity that are available for sale for $2 a pair piece as well. Thank you.
Because I want to make sure, as we talk about moving across the Trinity and equity, Keys Park will be fully resourced. But I think this is an opportunity for folks to understand that at Keys Park, we will not only have the community that's invited, but we also have invited some professional scientists so they can come in and share for those who have information. But first and foremost, we will also have food trucks, food and other items so that we can make an enjoyable event. And it's just so important that we stress the invitation and the communication of it's going to be safe, it's going to be family friendly, and it's going to be free, because this is an historical event, and then we're not going to see it in our lifetime to come. But we wanted to make sure we did put that on the record. We are fully serviced, fully forced, fully ready for the solar event and celebration, most definitely. Thank you. Had to throw that in for Keys Park.
And I will also say that the library is offering 1 pair of glasses per person while supplies last. Yes.
In talks with DISD, you guys mentioned, trying to get people to work from home to lessen the traffic, but, school's in, so there will be school buses and people trying to pick up and drop off kids. Have you guys talked about that with DISD or anything?
Well, as far as the conversations with DISD, the logistics were worked out internally, and I can connect you with their representative to speak on behalf of that. Yes.
So we talked quite a few about the eclipse happening, but if it's cloudy and there's a mass exodus of people out of Dallas to get to other areas, is there a plan in place for that?
Well, I don't expect that they will leave before the actual event. And if it's cloudy, I think Travis has something to speak on for that.
So I think I see what you're saying, that if it's cloudy here, will people be trying to get to a place where it's not cloudy? And I do think that that is very likely. That being said, I don't know that it will be anywhere close enough that someone could just get up that morning and easily drive. It kind of looks like the clouds might be pretty widespread. That being said, we're still many days away from the event, so we won't have a very good idea of the forecast until much closer. That being said, I think it just goes back to being sure that we have the people in the room in the Emergency Operations Center ready to adapt and change and have those face-to-face conversations if we need to switch focus to some other scenario. But I do think we'll have a much better idea of the forecast in 2 or 3 days before the event, and so if we really feel that we need to make some changes, we can do that.
From a first responders perspective, is there going to be extra staffing? If so, how much? Is this an all hands on deck kind of situation?
Yes, the question is here, will there be extra staffing on behalf of first responders? Chief Garcia.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, in preparation for this, we've canceled discretionary time off. It is all hands on deck. Obviously, our first priority is to keep Dallas safe, to make sure that we are effective as a police department, and so that's what we're gearing up for. But yeah, it's one of those type of events. Nosotros estamos hablando con todo el mundo que están preparando para esta ocasión. El Departamento de Policía, vamos a tener muchos oficiales que están trabajando ese día. Estamos diciendo a nuestra comunidad que no se paren en las carreteras para ver lo que está pasando, porque tenemos que tener nuestros oficiales, también los bomberos, poder ayudar nuestra gente, nuestros residentes de la ciudad si necesitan ayuda. So, estamos colaborando con todo el mundo y vamos a estar preparados.
¿Nos puede mencionar cuáles son los enfoques en los que se están precisamente?
¿El qué? Perdón.
¿Los enfoques en qué se están enfocando actualmente? ¿O son diferentes?
Son diferentes, pero la responsabilidad de nosotros, la primera cosa que queremos decir a nuestra comunidad es que no se paren en las carreteras. Es bien importante para nosotros que podemos llegar a ayudar a nuestros residentes si necesitan ayuda. Y que si van a algún sitio, que van temprano, que tengan paciencia, porque ese día va a estar bien ocupado aquí.
Última preguntita, estaban hablando precisamente de cuántos oficiales van a tener en las calles. ¿Qué podemos esperar?
Pueden esperar que vamos a tener muchos oficiales en las calles. No voy a hablar de cuántos oficiales vamos a tener, pero las vacaciones hemos cancelado. Oficiales van a estar aquí, van a ver una presencia tremenda del departamento aquí en la ciudad ese día. Ok, gracias.
Thank you. Yes, yes, Everton. Thank you for the question. The question here is there an official estimate for the number of visitors Dallas can expect? Jennifer?
Thank you. No, attendance predictions are tricky. The best that we can say is that historically we welcome 26 million visitors annually to the destination. Again, that's on an annual basis, but if you think about our peak seasons, it's really the spring and the fall. And those visitors spend some $6 billion in hotels, in food and beverage, in retail establishments. So really hard because this isn't a ticketed event for us to estimate that properly. The best estimate that we have is looking at what Nashville did, again, back in 2017 as a comparison.
Yeah. I think, like you mentioned, the best thing that we can do is look at our partners. And so very early on in this process, we started reaching out to other cities that were in the path of totality in 2017 to understand not just about visitorship, but what was the event like in general? You know, could they share any after action reports, things like that? And everyone was willing to do so. So I think the best numbers that we've got were Nashville's. But I think that it is, I mean, I'm from an emergency manager standpoint, I'm always preparing for the top end. And so if that's 450,000 people, then that's what we're looking at. And I think we're, bottom line, expecting a lot of people in Dallas that day.
Yes.
I know you guys were talking about the hotels here in downtown Dallas. Do you have a rough estimate of, I know it's about 90% booked.
Mm-hmm.
That could give us a little bit more insight in the number of people?
Yeah, so it's hard to say on that as well, but I will say that the entire weekend occupancy is sitting well above average. Our revenue, we're about 80% above what we typically make for average daily rate. Hotels, I think, are taking advantage of people being in market for this very historic event. But again, our citywide rooms are at a count of 35,000 total. So you anticipate that being some 90% full. That, I think, tells a story.
Any other questions for today? All right. Well, if you do have any follow-up questions, you can always reach the City of Dallas media team by emailing media@dallas.gov. Thank you again to all of our speakers for being here today and for all of our attendees. Have a wonderful day.